Good morning, boys and girls. Today is May 6, 2020. Welcome back. So today we are going to continue with another TEK. Before we start, just make sure you have materials ready. You need something to write with. You need a notebook, scratch paper, anything where you're going to be writing down all of your notes and the word problems that we are going to be working with today. So go ahead and grab your materials, and as soon as you're ready, you may continue with the video. Alright guys, so as I mentioned, the TEK for today is 5.3a. The objective is the student will be able to estimate to determine solutions to mathematical and real-world problems involving addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. I know Monday and Tuesday we worked mainly on division, but for this TEK, we will continue with division, but of course we're also, you might have a problem that has to do with multiplication, subtraction, or addition. Because for this one, the objective is actually estimating. That's going to be the main focus point. Vocabulary for today is estimate, which is to roughly calculate, judge the value, number, or entity. An estimate is not the exact number. And if you notice again, I put it in caps, the word not, because I want to emphasize that. An estimate does not mean that is the exact number. I also did provide an example. It's if I want to build a pool at my house and I call and ask for an estimate. This means that they're not going to give me the exact price of the pool, but they're going to tell me more or less how much money I could be spending. So they're not going to tell me exactly, Ms. Rodriguez, your pool is going to cost $20,000. You know, it's not that's what I'm going to be spending. It's just an estimate. It could be a little bit more, or it could be a little bit less, but more around that area is kind of like the money that you're looking at. Then we have the word round. Rounding is making a number simpler, but keeping its value close to what it is. A quick example, rounding also depends how we want you to round, but let's just say the number, I'm going to give you a number, 82. And you want to round it to the nearest tens, then if you have 82 to the nearest tens, it's going to be 80. Now keywords, just like in our other lesson, these are words that tell you more or less that you're going to be estimating. So like when you see the keyword about, or a little more, or less than, close to, approximately. Again, these are not all the words, but they're just some of the common words that you see in word problems, and they're words that help us know that we are going to be estimating. Go ahead and make sure you write these notes down in your notebook, guys, in your scratch paper, and you may resume with the video as soon as you're done writing. Alright, so this is going to be the first problem we're going to work on. Go ahead and write it on your paper, and I am going to read it. It says, Anna pays $618 for 6 months of music lessons. She pays the same amount for lessons each month. Which of the following is the best estimate of the amount Anna pays each month? And for this one, I actually wrote down answer choices because I want you to see when we're estimating which one. I mean, you could, since you can estimate different ways, it's best if I provided the answer so that as we work on it and we find the answer, we can know which is the best amount that fits our answer. So go ahead and write this on your paper, and as soon as you are done writing, you can press play again. Alright, so I wrote the same problem on my paper, so I'm just going to work on it here. So again, she pays $618 for 6 months of music lessons. And then she pays the same amount for lessons each month. So I'm just going to highlight that word again, each. Because if you remember Monday's lesson, we know each gives us a clue. We know that more than likely we are going to be dividing because I want to know how much she's paying each time. I already know that in 6 months, the total she paid is $618. She didn't pay more than that. That is her whole amount. Now I got to add that amount into each month so that I know exactly how much she spent. And it's asking which of the following is the best estimate of the amount Anna pays each month. So since she pays $618 in 6 months, I'm going to divide that into 6 because she does it 6 times. And it gives us this amount. So again, Remember to do your multiples of 6. This makes it a lot easier. So we can go ahead and do our multiples of 6 here. I'll stop there. You can actually continue, but I'm going to stop there. So how many times does 6 go into 6? We know it goes 1 time. So we just work out our problem. We bring this down. We know 6 goes into 1 0 times. Then we bring this down and we bring our 8 down as well. And then 6 goes into 18 3 times. And then this gives us 18 and 0. So we know that our answer is 103. But this is our exact amount. This is what she pays each month. Remember, the problem is asking for the best estimate. So if you look at your answer choices, our best estimate, would it be A, $100, B, $150, C, $125, or D, $200? And our best estimate would be A, 100. That number is closest to 100. So this would be our estimate right there. That would be the best one. All right, this is going to be your next problem, number 2. I want you to go ahead and write it down, and I'm going to read it. So number 2, it says, the 5 members of a math team at Nielsen Middle School are raising money to go to the state competition. They need between $55 and $80 per person for each day of the trip. Which of the following is a reasonable estimate of the total amount of money they will need for a 2-day trip? And then you have your answer choices A, B, C, and D. Go ahead and write down this problem, boys and girls, and then we will continue to work on it together. All right, so now that you've written down, one of the things I wanted to go over really quick before we actually do the problem, it's asking, or it's saying they need between $55 and $80 per person for each day of the trip. I saw the word each there, and I know some each, when I went over it on Mondays, it said we were going to divide. In this case, we're actually not going to divide. And this is one of the reasons why I told you it's very important for you to look for these keywords, but not because the keyword is there means automatically, oh, that's what I'm going to do, and I don't have to continue reading or paying attention to the problem because I saw this word and I'm going to divide. That is not always the case. So that is extremely important. So here it's saying that there's 5 members of a school and they want to go to a competition. They need between $55 and $80 per person. So each of these persons needs between $55 and $80 for the trip. Now, it's asking what is a reasonable estimate of the total amount of money that they need in a 2-day trip. So in 1 day, they need $55 and $80 per person. Just in 1 day. But it's not asking. That's the thing. In the question, it's not asking how much do they need for 1 day. It's asking how much are they going to need for 2 days. So what we're going to do first is, if there is 5 members, so there's 5 members in 1 day. Those 5 members are also going to need the same for their second day. So I can either add 5 plus 5 because it's the same members, or I can multiply 5 times 2. So I'm going to multiply 5 times 2, and that's going to give me 10. Even though it's the same 5 people, the same 2 days, in a total, we're talking about 10, and each of them need between $55 and $80. So now that we have this, I'm actually going to take the 2 numbers that were provided in the problem. I'm going to start first with 55. So I'm going to do 55, and I'm going to multiply that by 10. Because each person needs that. So if I multiply this, this gives me 0, 0, 5, and 5. So I know that they need, in the 2 days, $550. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the 80. 80 times 10. And we know that gives us 800. So now look back at your answer choices. Remember, this is only if I'm using these. It's not saying that that's exactly what they need, but they need something in between that, in between the $55 and the $80. So it's asking how much money would they need for the whole 2 days trip. If you look at your answer choices, you have letter A, 275. We have B, 400, 700, and then D, 900. Which is the best estimate? Remember, if this is what they need in between, this is the same thing. That means in between. Could it be A? No, 275. 275 is not in between those two numbers. Could it be B? No. Could it be C? Yes. Maybe, because 700 is less than 800 and it's more than that. So that is in between. Could it be 900? No, that's not our best estimate because that's actually going over. So for this one, our best estimate would be C. All right, this is going to be the last problem we're going to work on today before you guys continue with your assignment. So problem number 3, make sure you write it down. A delivery truck is carrying 80 televisions in individual boxes. Each box weighs between 26 and 37 pounds. Which is a reasonable estimate of the total weight of the boxes? And then you have your answer choices, A, B, C, and D. Go ahead and write the problem down, and then we will continue. All right, now that you've written down the problem, this problem, boys and girls, is kind of similar to the one we did earlier. So the delivery truck is carrying 80 television boxes. That means every television is in a box. Each box weighs between 26 and 37 pounds. It's not telling us an exact amount. It's saying it's between that. So we do not know. Then it's asking, which is a reasonable estimate. Again, we're going to estimate the total weight of the boxes. So if there's 80 televisions, we can do this 2 ways. You can either try to find the number in between 26 and 37 to just kind of use that number as if that is the weight of the TV, or we can work on it the way we did earlier in our problem number 2. We're going to take both numbers and we're going to be multiplying them by 80. So let's pretend each box is 26 pounds. So we're going to do 80 times 26, and we're going to work this out. This gives me 0, 48, 0, 0, and then 16. And then I add this. So if each box would actually be 26 pounds, that means it would be 2,080 pounds for all the 80 televisions. Now we're going to do 37. So we're going to do the same thing. 80 times 37. Again, 0 times 7 gives me 0. 8 times 7, 56. Then I bring my 0 down. 0 times 3, 0. 8 times 3, 24. I add this. 5 and 4 gives me 9 and 2. So the same thing. The answer is 2,960. Now remember, if it's between, that means the 80 televisions are between these two numbers. And if you look at your answer choices, answer A is 2,500. Is the number 2,500 between these two? Yes, so that could be a possible answer. Could it be letter B, 880? That one, we can eliminate it because that does not fall in between these two numbers. 3,400. That one goes over this number. And then the last one is 5,000. So we know that our best possible choice is 2,500, which was your letter A. Alright, boys and girls, so that is it for today's video. Again, you are going to be working with estimation today and tomorrow. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to reach out to me. Please reach out. I don't want you guys submitting your work if you don't know what to do and you're just kind of guessing, I'd rather you not work on it and reach me first so that I can try to help you, and then you can go ahead and continue doing the work. So if you have any questions throughout your assignments, just let me know, reach out, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Bye, guys.